Welcome back to Wasted 20's, everyone. We are happy to have you with us this week, where a bunch of us nerds sit around, laugh at each other at each other's expense, and play some Dungeons and Dragons. I'm happy to announce that this week, Matt, who plays Deborah,
just throw me in the fire.
Found his voice.
Throw me in the fire.
He's found his character's voice, so I've not even heard it yet, but I'm super excited to hear it.
I haven't heard it yet either.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Once again, Jeff is missing. He's had some family stuff going on, so hopefully we'll have him back soon. I don't think I have any announcements. I don't think anything has drastically changed in the last week or so. So, with that, let's get started with this week's episode of Wasted 20's. All right, and where we had left off last week, the group had found themselves at Thornbarton. After slaying the Thirsters, they then moved into the general store where they found a nest of Burblings. This was Cossack's query for the quest that he was on.
Yes, they were a verbal gang.
They were a verbal gang. Perfect.
A verbal.
First into the cellar was Ouli, who through a series of unfortunate events had fallen into the cellar by himself. Against these, they decided to do a number on him and essentially killed him. However, a mysterious figure appeared from a bright flash of light and saved Ouli. This figure turned out to be Ekko, who was from the future. And at this point, the figure started to fade from itself. As the sandstorm had hit, Ouli, having experienced this near-death experience, moved into the cellar that Cossack had burned. And that's where we're going to open up tonight. Ouli, you find yourself in this burned, soot-filled, now acrid-smelling cellar. What are you doing?
Well, I was currently sitting at where I assume I died, or at least I remember where I died from whatever's been not burned. I think. I was probably for at least a little bit staring at it, trying to figure out what exactly is going on, because I have no fucking clue. And so I'm going to get up, then I'm going to pull my hood down a little bit, or actually just pull it down all the way. I'm going to pull one of my daggers out and go to like the nearest wall, and I'm just going to start carving into it. And I'm going to carve a very, not even like a very large one, but a very small spider.
So these walls they're a fine mixture between dried clay and dirt. Mm-hmm. So you would find like hard bits of clay that you could carve this into.
I'm gonna, after I've carved it in, and basically like, it's not even like pretty, it's just a resemblance of what could be a spider. I'm gonna put my dagger up, and I'm just gonna start punching it repeatedly, over and over and over and over again.
For every time you punch it, take a point of damage. Punch the wall. Your skin begins to peel off and leave blood-streaked stains as you're just punching into the wall. You want to roll a couple attacks?
Yeah, I do wear gloves, by the way.
Okay. Roll. For how many times you would have punched it? 5, 6?
Basically, as I'm punching it, I'm just saying, I'm pretty angry. So like every time I'm punching into it, I'm just like, every punch is just a word, and every single time I punch is, "You made me this way."
So 5. Okay, so roll 5 attacks.
Will this be strength?
You can do dex.
24?
Yeah.
21?
Yeah.
10?
Yeah.
25?
Yeah.
I'm at 4. And then 14.
Yeah.
You're just looking for that one, weren't you?
Yeah.
One.
I'm waiting for that one.
You've worn a hole in your glove where you were punching with the same spot and you're beginning to bleed at your knuckles.
So 5 damage?
Yeah. About this time, you hear someone walking across the floor. And the cellar door opens. And footsteps down.
Pull out that same scorpion.
Chitin?
Chitin?
Chitin.
I'll get that eventually and cast light on it. And kind of hold it down so it's like not in my face. Ouli, you down here?
Yes, I'm down here.
You said last session, soon like kind of like it was getting down there. That's when it started like coming in, right?
Yes.
I'll close this. Make sure I close the cellar then. It's at its worst right now.
What is?
The Sandstorm.
Is that what that is?
Yes.
I have no idea. I've never seen one.
You wanted to talk to me.
I do, actually.
No one else is around.
It's probably not a good thing.
So what do you need?
I have to look at you in the face when I ask you this.
He pulls his hood down.
And I'll pull mine down. I get about 3 feet away from you.
No kiss.
Mike Tyson. No kiss.
Am I the only one of my kind you've ever met?
Yes.
I'm inside him.
Make an insight.
21.
You believe. He's telling the truth.
At least I hope you're telling the truth.
I am. Who were you talking about earlier?
I'm talking about where I'm from. Talking about all the hell that I went through to be out and about. Because I'm sure it wants me back. It wants me there, and it wants me to do whatever they want me to do, like I used to. And I'm not doing that anymore. At least I'm trying not to. But some of the things I do, I have to because it keeps us alive. Well, maybe not recently. I just want to know why I'm so important. Why do I have to live?
Do you want to live?
You know, after I came down these stairs, the first time, I had second thoughts. And now I don't know why. Like I told Annie, 50% of me wanted to be alive, and the other 50% honestly don't know.
I don't know exactly what is happening. I don't know
The next two of us.
why I came. That was me.
You know, at first I didn't get a good look at you, and then I did, and I want to say I can't believe it. I want to say there's some magic holding my head up right now, but I don't know why I saw another you, unless you know some spell or something.
I don't. I see glimpses. That's how I'm able to warn you before certain attacks happen. I did that before. I appeared, and I point to the corner where it was at. Before I appeared there, I saw you getting hit. I told you to duck, and you ducked.
I have no idea how that even works. I just thought maybe I'm quick at my reflexes again.
But if I came back to give you life, then at some point we should have been friends, I guess. I don't know.
Why? Why me? So I had to ask. I need to know you did not work for them.
I don't work for anyone but the tribe.
Well, I also didn't get to ask other you, so I don't even know where that stands. I mean, maybe sometimes they reach out to you or something, or they know that they find out where I am.
I mean, there are ways with magic to track someone. You know this, right?
Nothing I can do. But I'm sure there is.
Do you want to live for her?
Currently, yes.
Then focus on that. Hopefully the rest of the answers will come to us.
That is honestly not the point right now, Ekko. It really isn't. What the point is
I don't work for anyone.
I should be dead. And I'm right here where I'm pretty sure I felt my life leaving me. Not.
And I don't truly understand that yet. I don't know what that was. I didn't know I was capable of doing something like that. But if I am, it could be useful.
What did your brother say to you?
He considers his kind a disgrace. He considers me a monster. And I don't blame him, because I hurt him when he was trying to leave. I let my emotions get the best of me.
Well, they will if you keep thinking that way. But the way he sees you, I see myself. I can't go into detail right now, and I'm not going to, but just...
Do you see me as a monster?
No, you're not. You're the first orc that hasn't tried to kill me. Or put my head on a pike, or, hey, we defeated one of these. Show all my friends.
You've done good by me. I don't see you as a monster. How much that helps, if any.
I guess time will tell. The worst part is, we're gonna be stuck in here for a little while. How long does that light last?
An hour? I can read through it.
Well, you like to read, don't you?
Really. Ekko pulls out his book.
PS3.
I have 12 more if you want to pass time.
I've actually got my own, if we just want to be quiet and read.
I'm okay with that.
Me too.
So I kind of put it on the stairs, I guess, so it kind of emanates downward.
Okay.
And I sit down, pull out the
Um,
book I have.
I imagine y'all being like Forrest Gump and Bubba when they're like,
Back to back.
My rock can lay on y'all back, you lay on
So we
mine.
don't have to lay our heads in the mud.
I will start to slightly undo one of the wraps
Okay.
and just kind of like scrub where the char is on the ground and on the wall.
Which wrap did you undo?
The one on my left arm with the marking on it. But I only did up to about his forearm, just enough where he has a clump of it and just use that to squeegee.
Wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he, once it's cleaned up, he just rewrapped his arm in that char on his hand.
Okay.
And he
I
uses his
see.
right hand to turn pages.
What I'm going to do is, like, as soon as I don't know how long we're going to be in here, so at a certain point, if I can find it real fast.
did y'all have torches in your dungeoneering pack? Or explorer's pack?
Yeah, I still have 5 left.
Uli, I believe the book that you had was
He's ordered really
Carde and the Ulipi Temple.
No, the one about the obsidian.
Obsidian, yeah.
Oh, the Obsidian Convent. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
the only one
to
I have.
continuously
Okay.
do it.
It's a cantrip. I just do it over and over and over. Fine.
You all take this time to concentrate and read. Ekko, during this time, you're able to finish the spellcrafting book.
Yay!
You continue reading on, into the
In this town, the Tanya must
the
be in.
book regarding the Obsidian Conclave. In this time, you're able to get through the next few chapters, which focuses on stances of martial arts and self-defense, and using your inner strength, what it refers to as ki, and using that to propel yourself and push yourself in battle. Ways you can use it to defend yourself, ways you can use it to make lightning fast attacks. That's what you're kind of reading at this point in that book. Mikami, you find yourself in the Sandstorm. Make a perception.
21.
As you're sitting there in the storm, and it keeps repeating this message to you. Go home. You keep hearing that over and over again, go home. And as you're looking around, your eyes not brutally affected by the sandstorm, but you see a dark shadow over your head that moves quickly over your head and passes by and keeps going.
Does it seem like it? Do I have any idea of what it is, or
Make a nature check.
a disadvantage? 2.
There is something familiar about it. Welcoming. Non-threatening. But you don't know what it is.
How's the sandstorm around me?
Thick. Wild. Thick.
I would have probably stopped breathing at some point because of the.
No, don't want to inhale it.
But I would just stand and kind of embrace this familiarity and this foreign kind of mixing with my hands, kind of outstretched, feeling the wind, and as long as it's not harming me, let's stay there.
It's not. It feels very inviting, and after this sandstorm is going on and on, there seems to be no end to it. And for a moment, you look. We'll keep that same perception that you had. You look to your right, and you've already lost vision of what would be the houses and buildings immediately in your vicinity. You can't see them even 5 feet in front of you. But to your right, the sand seems to take shape and form into a person. And that person just stares back at you. Again, this wave of familiarity, but you can't place it. But your heart hurts. There's pain and loss. This person, someone you don't know, but at the same time, there's this overwhelming sadness that overflows, and as his lips move, go home. And the wind catches him and he fades away again.
But I don't know where home is.
The sand's rushing past you. The wind wisping through your hair as your hair is caught by the wind. And everything around you swirling and churning. And for a brief moment, you catch the glimpse of the storefront to your right.
Makani is going to. She's just gonna stay there. I don't know how to go home. I need help.
She calls out. Barely heard over the thrashing of the storm.
Right here from the door of the house.
make a perception at disadvantage due to the high.
16.
You heard McConaughey say that. There's no answer more than that. Go home. And
It just continues in the wind.
It's not pushy, but it's akin to an ancient language that takes forever for one syllable, but an eternity of meaning in a second. Type of sensation. It's not repeating "go home, go home, go home, go home," but it's that same message over and over again.
Can I see her? Mold Earth lets me take ground that is not already difficult terrain and make it difficult terrain, and vice versa.
Okay.
So could I use that to counteract the sandstorm in my immediate vicinity?
No. The best you could do with the mold Earth, I would say, would be push Earth up to try to block some of the wind.
Yeah, I don't think I could do enough of that, though. I wouldn't
I
think.
think it lets you manipulate, is it 5 square feet?
Yeah, 5 square feet.
You could try that.
I'd have to like dig a whole trench to it. I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I would cast whenever I heard her say I need help. I didn't hear the rest of it. I'm going to just cast locate object on like her cloak and just kind of close my eyes and
It immediately pings to it.
just walk towards it.
You're able to walk out towards it, and you immediately catch her shoulder.
I think it's time to go inside.
Okay.
I just retrace my steps backwards.
You all find your way back to the house.
Mm-hmm.
You find your way back to the house. Downstairs in the house would still be Click and Tulok. We're standing there as you all come in. Makani is just covered in dirt and sand and just looks like there's no purples, there's no pinks. It's just brown.
It's that scene from Kill Bill and she digs herself out of the grave.
You look about like Wolfred
I'm
does.
gonna do a quick like
Normally.
shake to get all the sand out of my fur.
Is everyone okay? Where's Ouli?
Can I do you have to concentrate?
What is it? I'm sorry.
Do you have to recast locate object to change?
I don't feel so well. I think I'm going to lay down. And she's gonna go over near the chocobos, and she's just gonna pull out her list, and just read over it over and over and over again. Think about it.
Deborah, you had gone upstairs. You don't feel the best. Could be the heat. Some other feeling, but you were able to find the pieces of cloth that you were primarily looking for.
Wrap it around my face. Well, I wrap it and pull it out.
Okay.
Because I don't need it yet.
Doing anything in particular?
You said it's getting nighttime-ish.
Sun is definitely going.
I don't stay up during nighttime.
So bedtime then.
Bedtime for Deborah.
Wolford.
I'm assuming I boarded up some of the windows and got
Yeah, you would have been able.
blocked out some of the sand, so it's not too bad right now. I guess once he finishes that, he's just gonna plop down wherever he's at and just rest. He's not gonna worry about. He's a simple man. He doesn't really need a whole lot of comfort, so he's just gonna plop down, fully packed on, and just take a pass out, pretty much.
Take a good sleep.
Yeah.
Click.
So these two just came in, and
Whenever I brought Makani back in, I just took up post like next to the door. Is the door facing the storm, or is the door on the side?
On the side.
Okay.
So
Leaving the
wind's not
door
directly
open so I
hitting
can watch out.
And I would just go up to hearing her go, "Where's Ouli?" I would just go up to her and write in my book and tell her Uli's in the storefront. But before I show her the book, I would just go, "Patience, honey," and show her.
Wait, you can heal, can't you, Click? Do you think you could fix whatever happened to me? Do you think you could help me remember everything?
Remembering she can't read my writing,
Yeah, I ignored it.
She just says that.
I'm gonna sit there, and I guess I'd go up to the closest person to come read it for her.
The nearest person would be Cossack or Wolfred.
I don't know either of them, so any, mini, money, no. I'd go up to him and just, I guess, touch his thigh because I'm pretty short.
Ooh.
What is it, Bird?
And then I'd write in my book as well, "Can you help me with something?"
I cannot read your language.
You can't read common?
I can't read it.
Oh, you can't. Oh,
It's
yeah.
all oral tradition.
Yeah.
Then I'll just go find somebody that can.
You would see Wolfred kind of sitting next to one of the windows that he's boarded.
Just kind of tapping on. And then I'd show him what I previously wrote.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
I reckon I can't help you either. I'm just kidding. What do you need?
And then I would just explain to him that my Connie can't read, so can you tell her what I write?
I reckon why don't you just talk to her? You know, you just tell her your words your own mouth.
Make a nature check.
Oh yeah, I know what it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, after a few moments, you realize that Kinkus can't synthesize speech.
Alright, I reckon I'll tell her what you're asking.
And then I would sit there before we go up to McConaughey. I would just think about not the meaning of healing itself, but the type of healing that she's asking for.
Okay.
And I would write down wounds can be easily healed by magic, but wounds of the heart can only be healed by faith and time.
McConaughey, you're sitting here and you're just struggling right now. And Click approaches Wolfred. And Click holds up this sign. And the sign reads simply, "I fix the body. When you get cut, when someone bleeds, I fix those wounds. Magic can fix those. Wounds of the heart and wounds of the mind can only be fixed through time and faith."
And I'd just dust her off and hug her.
Thank you, Click. I
reckon it's saying that he can fix your magic, but he can't fix your heart.
don't even know why my heart hurts, though.
I saw some scribbles that said that maybe that Ouli guy was across the street and the sailor or something.
Oh, is he back in the cellar still?
Patience, honey.
I reckon I ain't seen the sound fellow either, so I reckon that Ekko was down there as well. I don't know, maybe he just died.
Well, if Ouli dies again, Ekko can bring him back, I think, so...
Unless Ekko died too. Maybe that's why he disappeared that second time, because he knew he was going to die in the sandstorm.
Those cellar stairs have proved very tricky for us.
Mm-hmm. I reckon I'm going to go to bed now. Hopefully I won't die through the night either.
We're just all gonna die.
I will try my best to protect you, if anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can protect you from like stairs and stuff, but I can protect you from some things. I'm pretty
I reckon I
strong.
won't sleep too close to these stairs then.
Okay, that's probably a good idea.
I'll sleep on the other side.
Okay. Thank you, Click. Do you think Regis can help me?
I'll just give a nod.
Just give an assuring nod.
Yes.
Does he talk to you sometimes? Or she or it? Do they talk to you in your head sometimes? Okay. Maybe I will try talking to Regis. But I'm gonna go make sure that Ouli and Ekko aren't dead, okay? Head back to the other house.
You go through the storm.
Ekko and Ouli have been down in the cellar for a few hours at this point.
I want to ask you real quick.
Yes.
When I was reading the book out loud, you said it slowed me down. By how much? Like, how much longer would it took me to finish that book?
20 minutes. 30
Okay.
minutes.
Thanks.
I missed the ending.
Read it without you.
He's gonna flip over to just kind of skimming through the books, and when he comes across Volos, he knows Volos has a chapter about orcs and stuff. He wants to see the perception of orcs or take it from an outside source.
Okay.
So he
You
just
flip through and you easily find the spot on orcs. And of interest to you would be the section of Uroks. And you begin to read through that section how Urok children are usually killed at birth because of the perceived threat that they have against the tribe leaders and war chiefs. After a few hours of you all reading, you all hear someone walking across the ceiling and the creak of the cellar opening.
Is it still like a sandstorm? So is there like a gust of wind that blows sand down there as well?
Inside.
It's in
Well, I
the
would
back.
imagine
It's in the
that-
back. It wouldn't have. I mean, they might have heard like sand hitting the floor, but it wouldn't like spill of sand down the stairs.
I just imagine the door doesn't shut to that building, so it's probably just like filling up with sand.
It's not. It's the door is not facing the direction of the
cellar.
the direction of the storm. Like the storm is not blowing directly into that door.
Oh,
Right. And Connie, you've reached where the cellar is.
you see a glow of light.
Ouli, Ekko, are you still alive down there?
Yes.
Mostly dead.
I'm gonna carefully go down the stairs because they're very dangerous.
Both of you would pick up something in Makani's voice. With just like your passive insights, you would just kind of pick up something.
I'm going to go down the stairs. How are you all sitting? You're sitting near the light, right?
It emanates 20 feet out,
Mhm.
so I feel like I'm against the wall,
I'm
And the-
sitting Indian style.
and the wall around me is completely scrubbed. Like there's no char there. But my
So
arm-
you all aren't near each other.
I figure like 10 feet apart.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk around so I can put my back against Uli's back. I'm just going to cross my arms and just sit there and not say anything. Actually, I lied.
I imagine it's
as
you
I'm
actually
turning-
said that you walked in and said, I'm not gonna say it.
I'm not going to talk right now. Well, actually, there's something I want to say.
Flip one page.
Uli, I'm glad you're okay.
Me too.
Where's your home?
My home? I currently don't have one. Where it used to be was underground.
I don't know if I have one anymore either.
That's why we're connected, Annie. Or one of the reasons.
But I think I want to go home at some point, Uli.
Shut the book. Oh, really?
Have you ever met anyone who looks like me?
No.
Ekko, have you ever met anyone who looks like me?
I've read.
You would have read.
I've never met anyone like you. I've read stories, though.
I have an idea what she like the wind part, right? Yeah, air. Would I exactly know where they come from? Besides, I assume maybe either the plane of wind or air, whatever it is.
On the broad generalization, yes.
Sometimes your kin could live in a different plane. Not here.
Like, is that like another world?
Kinda.
Maybe that's why I don't remember it. Maybe it's so far away.
What do you remember? You have a list of things.
I have a list, but I had that when I woke up. I remember Uli.
Is there anything on the list that you give it away? Like where you come from, or even what you wanted?
No, it's just a list of things that I want to do. And at first I thought,
Can you actually read that?
yeah, I can read it. Can you read it? Can you read it?
The list is in a language that you do not understand.
I cast a spell. I can. I mean,
Not right now, but I mean, give me 10 minutes, I can.
I mean, I can read it. It doesn't say where I'm from. I just thought all of these things I know belong to this world because there's things like the Hinmar Festival and stuff like that. The Golden Saucer is on here. I just thought maybe I was meant to do these things, and if I did, I would remember everything. And I don't know, a lot of stuff has happened since then, and some of it is kind of scary and dangerous.
I'm gonna listen to this story.
Do you want me to tell you a story about someone's home and how they lost it and found a new one?
Is this from like a book that you have?
It's about my brother. When he came to the tribe, it wasn't his home to start with. He came there when I was 6. He was 4 or 5. I might have been 7. It's been a long time. But we brought him in, and from my perspective, he was happy and he enjoyed where he came from, or where he's at. He eventually learned how to hunt, and he traveled with my father. I recently learned that where he came from, his home before, it wasn't the best. It was scary for him, and where he grew up, people treated him differently. I mean, not to say he didn't like the tribe either, but I felt like the tribe treated him better. Sometimes a home isn't where you come from, but where you go.
Like, see,
no.
like, see, it won't make it.
But I don't know if that helps, but the idea of where you come from may not be what you need, but where you're going is the key.
I feel like where we're going is important. I feel like I was meant to find Ouli, and he was meant to save me, and I was meant to meet you, and the other you, and everyone else. It just makes me a little sad sometimes to think about not knowing like anything, you know?
When we get back to my tribe, I can find that book. I should have it somewhere in my room. If you want it.
Annie, sometimes it's sad to know everything.
Maybe that's why I don't remember it, Ouli. Maybe it's really sad. Maybe I came from a bad place like your brother did.
It's possible. I don't know.
Everyone here is so nice to me, and they all like me, and we're friends. No one thinks I'm annoying.
Certainly right.
You still have that book?
Yeah, I have it. It's in my bag. It dried out from getting wet, but it's really kind of dusty now, so I'm sorry. I'm so dirty. I'm literally just...
Makani kind of lackadaisically picks this book up and sand just falls out of it.
Let me see it real quick.
Okay. Oh, you're 10 feet away. It's really hard.
You want me to read it?
I'll open it up.
Just gonna scoot closer.
Apparently, let's go to a different chapter.
I'll just kind of flip through to a chapter that seems to be a little bit nicer than the blood battles.
You would have found
Blood
that
War.
the gnomes and halfling stories are pretty intriguing, pretty not nice per se, but it definitely goes through their history.
Yeah, so that works.
Kind of learning about gnomes together.
I'm gonna get up and go to that spot and chip my remnants off the wall.
Okay, you are able to do so.
Makani's gonna lay down and listen, and kick her feet in the dirt. Just hang out there.
The storm at this point has started to. It's still going, but it's not at its.
Show you a
apex.
picture.
Oh, that's actually a really cute picture.
Another one.
It's not at its. It's not at its apex anymore. You all spend the night while these storms are raging. Were you going back up now that they had slowed down, or were you staying down there?
No, I'm just waiting for them to end.
For a number of hours, the storms raged between 6 and 7 hours. Click, would you have slept? Cossack, would you have slept?
Yeah, after Makani doesn't come back for like 30 minutes, I'm gonna take my two little short tent posts. I'm gonna
Yes.
stake them on either side of the door on the inside, and just take a short length of rope and tie it between them, and then hold the tag end on the other side so that I can sit with my back against the wall and basically sleep with like the tripwire in my hand, like mold earth so that the sand like bunches up to it so it's not as visible from the outside.
Okay.
And then just sleep with my back against the wall, rope in one hand, and my little bone daggers in the other.
I assume there's rooms around the house.
Yes, there are 3 rooms upstairs. One is occupied by Tevram.
It's in the king bed.
Did Wolford take one of the
No, he just fell asleep on the floor after he got boarded up.
2 rooms?
Done boarding stuff up.
I would have went upstairs to just an empty room.
Okay.
And not really try to jar it shut, but make sure that it's closed all the way. And then I want to start donning off the armor and the shirt.
Okay, you doff up your shirt and expose your bald chest, where the feathers no longer grow, revealing all the scar, tissue, wounds that you've had over the years. And you're able to take everything off, and you begin preparing your nightly rituals.
Yeah. And then just remembering what Makani said about the hurt in the heart, I would pray about that to Weejess as well. And kind of just touch the little emblem right here.
Make a religion check.
I should know my religion checks. Yeah, that's 4. $13.
The prayer is received. You feel a divine energy almost nodding to you that it has been received at this point.
Then I'm just going to kind of shake my feathers and get the sand off as I can, and I'm just going to slide that black shirt back on.
Okay.
And go to sleep.
Okay. So you all settle in for the night. Those of you down in the cellar, would you have slept any?
No, because I got wet up during the day. There's no reason for me to sleep at night.
Same.
The storm, like I said, the storm rages for 6 to 7 hours.
I would have fallen asleep at some
Like
point.
on, I would have fallen asleep. The storm dies down. Those of you who stayed awake would hear it die down, and it's still nighttime when it ends.
Do you want to meet up with the others or stay here till she wakes up?
I'll stay here till she wakes up.
Let's continue reading.
4 hours later, McConaughey finally wakes up, as do Wolfred and the others. But during this night's sleep, Devron, you have chaotic dreams in this night.
Okay.
Usually your dreams are not hyperly vivid, though not non-existent. You do have dreams. This particular dream is just chaotic. The earth cracking and falling out from under your feet, trees wilting and dying all around you as you try to make that connection with nature and it falls out from under you. There's a pain in your chest, a pain in your head, as it feels like a part of you is being ripped out at this point. In a moment, you feel like you're sleeping for an eternity, yet there's no rest that comes from this. As you wake in the morning, you wake to a cold sweat, shortness of breath, hyperventilating, afraid. Something has changed. Something is different.
Shit. Something's not right in the Matrix. Check the window.
You see that, man?
You no longer feel the natural bearing of the world. It's like for the first time in your life, you feel lost.
Tulok's gonna be pissed.
You feel as though you've always known where like north was. That is no longer natural for you. You've always had this instinctuality as to where to look to find food, and while you still have that knowledge, it's not instinctual anymore. Something has changed.
What?
You can no longer pry and find those holes where you were finding connections to planar portals. It's all gone.
What do I feel?
If I had to put it into words, it would be very closely as like a hangover. Like something has just hit you dead center of the chest. It's almost like smoking a bag of tea. It just hit you in the chest.
And someone's done that before.
Neither confirm nor deny that statement.
Me too. I lived in Grafenberg as well.
Black tea.
But you are now awake, and it is still nighttime.
It's nighttime?
It's nighttime. You have no idea what time though.
Yeah.
Though the storm has died.
I'm just gonna stay in bed. I'll lay there. Yes.
You and Wolfred begin to rouse. The storm is now ended. The skies are still dark.
I'm going to flop some spells.
Yes.
A little meditation. Clear up my trap, and then just head back over to this door.
Found you had as well of a night's rest as you could for sleeping on the floor.
I'd wake up to him walking out the door.
You would see him kind of like prepping his daily supplies and then packing everything up and then standing up to leave.
I reckon the rest of them probably died too, huh?
I shall find out shortly.
I reckon I'll go with you. We'll see if they're still living over there.
Just kind of motion out the door.
So you all head out the house over to the store. You see that now there are mounds of sands against the houses. New dunes have formed all over the desert as sands have begun to mound. And even in the dry oasis, there are now sand dunes and everything like that. Click. You wake, driving in nice rest. In your dreams, you dreamed of healing, fixing, and passing on Ouija's to village. But nothing out of the ordinary.
Just kind of sprawl out and I start donning my armor on. Just try to get myself prepared for the day. Getting all my stuff situated. And then I'll just take a good moment to kind of relax and start walking out the upstairs, going downstairs.
As you walk out the door, the room on the end opens, and out comes Tulok, who's now adjusting his armor. Morning, bird.
Oh.
You ready to go? We've done what we came to do. He kind of bangs on the road that Dam's in. Woodsman! It's time to move.
I get up. I don't say anything. I just start shuffling around and getting my crap together.
You hear his heavy armor down the steps. Those of you who moved over to the shop find that a little bit of sand and dust have been blown in, but you do see the cellar door shut. You all would hear them come in.
You said she woke up?
Yeah, she would be waking.
Yeah, then I'm going to open up the fresh air coming in.
Well, come in, the cellar door opens. Reveal Ekko.
Did you want to pass the day here, or do you want to start on to...
I'm ready to go.
I reckon he didn't die then, huh?
House fine. Is the house fine?
Yes.
Reckon the other two lived too?
They did.
Okay.
Perhaps you should carry the Dark Elf up the stairs so he doesn't hurt himself.
Wait, nice.
I reckon that was shots fired.
I think he'll be fine.
But like, 20. Leave that, you heard
Throw it back.
That's what they say.
You're trying to hit him. You see this dagger fly out of the... Take an attack.
40.
As it sticks into wood.
Walk out of the store.
Great.
No text and change him.
this store that have like random sort of like maybe containers or cloths?
Very sparse. You might have found one container. You might have found. They had combed it pretty well, and there would be a couple containers that might have been used to hold grains or things. They're not particularly for travel.
How big of a thing you're referring to?
Probably 5 to 10 gallon containers.
Fit in a bag of holding?
Yeah, sure.
Start dumping those containers out and go to where the sand is and start just pouring sand into it.
Does it have to fit in the mouth of the bag?
Yeah. As long as it's able to fit in the opening of the
A
bag.
5-gallon container.
A 5 gallon would
Yeah.
fit.
Would fit.
Good. You're collecting sand?
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna sit up and stretch and look around. Is there like soot and ashes on the ground? I'm going to go over,
My sleeve is black.
grab some. I'm gonna go. Look, Lily, I'm a dark elf like you.
Connie just blackface.
You're a little darker than me. I just start slow clapping.
I am the knight, and I'm gonna walk out of the cellar.
So if you're like doing this, okay. And
I am
continue.
the knight.
I'm gonna pat you on the shoulder. She's a dark elf.
Tulok comes out of the house as you're kind of cleaning up, and he just sees you. I am Poof, the horde of Poofs.
Are we leaving yet?
As they come up out of the hole, I'm gonna. As they come up out of the sailor, I'm gonna be like,
I reckon while you're down there all night, you might have looked around and seen if there was an exit down there, maybe.
It was dark. I wasn't really paying attention.
Why?
I reckon we might want to know if there's anything else down there, right?
The walls were charred, which means someone did that.
As I look over it,
Look.
you're walking away though, so
I'm just kind of chilling, like in the middle of the road now, waiting
Yeah.
for everybody to get their shit together.
that's all cast the fire thing. So
I was just figuring like no one ever like, I mean, those creatures might have came from deeper down into there. No one ever like explored further on. They're just like, oh, this is just a sailor.
yeah, just red. That's it, man.
We'll get that in the ending.
Deborah, you're able to see kind of out the window of the room, down, and everyone kind of gathering out at the storefront.
Yep, I'm shuffling my way out, and as I get down to the bottom of the stairs, I'm going to start getting the chocobos ready, because they were all latched together, right?
Yep.
I'm going to do my best to open the door and get them out to the road.
We can end one.
Good daylight right now.
Dawn is approaching. It's not quite dawn yet.
16.
16.
Head up.
You're able to get all the chocobos out.
Oh, hello. I'm a new friend. My name is Cassandra, the Dark Elf. Nice to meet you.
Do I have to roll anything?
Unless you're really dumb.
Unless you are really dumb, but your intelligence is
Not that bad.
not that bad.
So we push through day now instead.
Does that mean you guys are going to sleep during the day now?
I mean, it is roughly 6 a.m.? 5 a.m.?
5 a.m.
The sun has not yet crested the hills. Perhaps we just travel until it almost reaches its zenith and break for a few hours when it's at its highest.
That's fine. I'm just saying.
I reckon that sounds like a good idea.
Instead of traveling at night like we normally do, we had to stay here for a bit.
I say we do what we have always done. We move as much in day as we can, and then we move at night. There's nothing has changed. It's just the damn storms have thrown us off.
That's what I just said.
Right. I'm agreeing with
But
you.
we take break longer, and then when the zenith starts to go away, we continue.
Correct.
I will stay up until your day for this then.
Woodsman, can you point us to the south?
I point to the golden saucer.
That's where we're going.
I didn't ask you, but thank you.
So let's go.
Yeah, it's like right over there.
Can we see it out of the dunes and shifted?
In the night, it's still dark. You do still see the faint glow of it in the distance.
Alright, getting there right. It's right over there.
I hook my chocobo and I get on it myself.
You all take up. Anything else before you all leave?
I don't want my chocobo to be tied to another one. I think I can handle my own now.
The idea
the range yours.
of attaching the chocobos was to those who sleep at night could ride together, be fine. But during the
I
day,
know. But Cassandra can ride her own chocobo. She's gonna hop up on it.
Make an animal.
Some kind of personality thing going on here.
Well, it's an 8.
You hop up on the chocobo as it fidgets around a little bit, but it allows you to do so. It allows you. It helps you. It wasn't graceful by any means.
Did you lay back too hard?
What?
Did you lay back too hard when you went to sleep?
No. Why?
Just curious.
Come on, let's go!
Alright. No further business in the Baron Thornbarton.
Hop on this chocobo and follow
Since I'm not sleeping.
entirely.
Okay.
22.
22. You're fine. And anyone who had an exhaustion point is now rid their exhaustion from the prior.
4.
You dropped 1 point of exhaustion.
You
Whoa.
slept.
Did not. I stayed awake.
But you slept through the day previously, so wouldn't you not be exhausted yet?
Listen. Get man.
Because you would think like you would have.
That kind of minces details.
We-
It would be at dawn, really, about the time that he does it, but he failed when he gets there. It won't matter for this next little part.
I just imagine that it's like the same as like if you work a 3rd shift job, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're able to stay up through the night and then you kind of choose like do you want to
We'll
like
see what happens.
stay up in the morning or stay up in the evening.
We'll see what happens.
True.
You all head out, leaving Thornbarton,
Even during the daylight, I already have disadvantage.
and heading out into the dried Ionok Oasis.
Who took point?
I did. I'm heading towards the saucer we coming in.
Yeah, I'm following.
Ekko takes point. You guys begin to travel. Dawn comes. You see no living creatures. The more you all move into the dried up oasis, the smell of decay and death and putrescent nothing is overwhelming. As you all are moving and the winds begin to blow, you see the remnants of old carcasses. You see aquatic plants that have been exposed and since dried and have begun to shatter into dried leaves or turn to chalk-like substance. You all are making your way over this. The Sandstorm had left a bunch of dunes the night before. You all continue going over. The sun finally reaches its peak.
Stop.
Everyone make a perception.
Disadvantage.
Why can't my nap?
Yes, 17. Good enough.
What is it? 20?
17.
18.
15.
Natural 20.
10.
16.
You're natural 20. You had 21? 20. And who had 21? Who's our 21?
No, I had 18.
Over 20?
Took
Just
to
just you two.
25.
2. Yeah.
Just perception.
Yeah.
25.
Oh, yeah?
As Seko calls for a halt, you're surrounded by dunes. In the dunes are carcasses that have been pushed and rolled with the sand as it blew. You don't see anything beyond that, but it is a little weird to see dunes in the middle of an oasis. It's a really it's just an odd, but it's not out of place for the sandstorm that just rolled through. You all are kind of barricaded on all sides by a low dipping crevice where you all can hide and not be seen from any bypassing point.
That's what I got from the 20. Interesting. Okay.
I'm gonna climb up to the top of one and start setting my little lead to. Okay. Do I recognize any of the carcasses? Like what kind of animals these are?
You would see your nature. Make a nature check for me.
16.
You would see fish, giant crocodiles, number of different, couple sharks, but nothing out of place.
But it's like all it's white, matching the.
Yeah, matching the terrain.
Gotcha.
The desert terrain?
What is it?
What used to be.
What used to be an oasis. Devram, as you're watching, as you two are watching, this was the last little bit. One of the dunes ever so slightly shifts.
I was gonna say I'm gonna recast mage armor,
Okay.
and then like we have time to take a short rest, right? We'll see what happens.
See what happens.
Like shifts? What
Like-
exactly
like,
do we see?
Does like sand just like start moving?
Sand rolling from one side of the dune, like it's falling. You see,
Which dune is it? So I'm climbing up on one to set up my lean-to up top.
it's kind of like one continuous, and then all kind of fall towards the center, like all around. But it's ever so slight.
I think we should all get out of this.
I'm just gonna cast. I mean, that's sand fucking moves. I'm gonna cast Move Earth and start like clearing a pad at the top to start setting up my little lean-to.
And I'm at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And I this thing is starting to fall.
Slightly, yeah. It's not really building in the center, but it's just falling.
Yeah. Y'all, I don't think we should stop here.
Why would we not stop here? It's really hot and the sun's really high.
What's wrong?
I just don't like this place.
As you take your hand and you go to move, you move a little bit of the sand, and as you go to lift your hand is stuck in the sand.
Yeah.
Oh, I was casting a spell.
He was casting a spell.
I didn't actually touch it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
He's moving it back and forth.
Yeah, so just like clearing off a pad.
What's wrong?
This place just
But
don't
then I
feel right.
would step up onto the path I just cleared.
And once you step onto it, you're then stuck.
What's it move up top hill then? Would that be better for you?
And I
Make
try
a-
to
make a
pick my
strength
foot.
check.
Oh Jesus! Oh God!
So is it like a horseshoe? We like rode into like a little divot, more or less.
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable if we turned around.
It's a 2.
Just
you are
back.
stuck.
Okay.
I reckon we might need to wait for the cat up there, though.
In the sand.
You are stuck.
Come on down. We're gonna backtrack a little bit.
Yeah, I don't-
You see, Cossack like can't move, and I'm just gonna start like repeatedly casting Move Earth to like move it around.
we just
me,
see, like,
just
sand
like sending
flying?
sand like
I
flying.
heard that's
Oh.
called that's called making biscuits.
As you begin doing that, everyone who's watching up at Cossack sees this giant pseudopod form out of the dune sand and slam down onto you.
Yeah.
That is only a 15 to hit. That hits. Okay.
I'm practically naked.
Practically.
That is 9 points of bludgeoning damage. As this giant pseudopond of sand hits you, and as that hits, it's like a river of sand dropping onto him. As the other dunes around you begin to move and pseudopods form themselves and coalesces into one gigantic creature. I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh, the desert is very angry at us.
Y'all, how do we fight sand?
We about to figure it out.
With air.
Air. Fire.
Oh, actually, that's good. I just took.
I don't like this.
Me neither.
All right. Perfect.
We're good at
So as
killing
it hits
things.
me,
Why didn't you
it
hit
melts back
I
into
didn't.
sand.
You should have.
So it was like a form of a creature.
Yeah. This, if you're curious.
I'm not. I don't want to know. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I'm
Real
curious.
quick.
Wait, do I know what it is?
Well,
As it
find out
crushes
on
down.
your turn.
Real quick.
I just got a mouthful.
We're doing it where-
Can I tell from the mouth?
Not full health on full
Well,
rest, but use hit dice, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
know
you
exactly
should use
what to
half
take.
hit dice at least.
Right. Did anyone have 20 to 25?
That's me.
21.
Oh no, I was saying I can take a mouthful and not know exactly what it is. Sorry.
15 to 20.
15.
18.
Okay.
18. Plus 20, right?
Yes. 10 to 15?
12.
13.
13?
Ooh.
13.
So.
Too long.
Little. Makani?
12.
12.
13,
Echo?
7.
So anytime we die now, you're just gonna reverse it, right?
We just travel back in time and save
I want to
us.
assume that.
We're fine. We're
That's
fine.
what I'm assuming.
All right.
I think
We're
that
We're
A-
immune to player death now.
Says these dunes coalesce into a creature that is nearly indistinguishable from a dune itself. Ouli, what do you do?
I'm gonna fire an arrow at it.
Make an
What
attack.
the fuck that is? I'm going first.
You are going first, so you get advantage.
Am I like on top of it?
You are on top of it.
Oh, jeez.
But you are also stuck.
I'm still stuck?
You are still stuck.
I'm getting sucked in slowly.
You got this.
Riding the Alaskan bulwarks.
It's a trimmer.
So,
21 to hit?
21? Hits.
I'm ready from the 90s.
It is.
No. I wish. That'd be cool as fudge, but no. That's 25 piercing damage.
Okay. Your arrow hits, and the arrow makes contact as if it were a creature. The arrow is stuck in it. You can see where it hit. It kind of ripples in reaction to the hit that it just received.
And I'm just going to stay on this chocobo slightly tighter.
Cussing. You are currently grappled. But it is your turn.
I'm going to lash out and strike the ground at my feet with Earth Tremor.
Okay. What
So
is-
it's a dexterity saving throw, I guess, if it's a creature in the area.
It is a creature. That is a 9.
Okay, so it takes. I can't knock it prone though, can I? Does it release me? Does that do anything to the earth around me? Does it just like ripple like liquid? So that's 2 damage.
2?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you would expect a creature to fall. This does not fall.
If the ground in that area is loose earth or stone, it becomes difficult terrain until
It's
cleared.
not loose earth.
It's not. You just took everything I know about sand and like flipped it over.
Do you want to check to see what it is?
Yes.
Okay, make an extra check.
20.
This is a dune mimic.
Oh Jesus.
What the fuck?
Oh God.
That's why you're stuck.
That makes sense now.
Cool.
Is that all for your turn?
Told you I had a bad feeling.
But I don't know what it is, so.
Yes.
Okay. Devon.
I'm gonna shoot the thing.
Okay.
I don't shoot the thing.
What's your roll?
1. What happens
You were shooting it.
Yeah.
High or low?
Low.
Oh no. You can't just break his crossbow.
You shoot, and where you were so used to before, kind of you're
like
one with
thrown off.
natureness kind of guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
You shoot, and as you shoot, you're thrown off a little bit by kind of the tremor that he caused, and the arrow goes spinning wildly. Okay. That's your first attack.
1, 2.
Miss.
So 7. Yeah.
That's a miss. Click. It's on you, Bo.
I don't really know much about what's going on. All I know is he's stuck up there. So I'm gonna.
Negative strength also.
I want to sit there and just
I'll come up there before you.
pull the dead.
Okay. It's a wisdom save. That is a 7.
Oh no!
Get him.
No.
I already hit him, so yeah.
Oh, you hit him?
Yeah,
Yeah, you got it.
That's glorious. Yeah, let's start bringing that damage up a little bit. He just took 10 necrotic damage.
You see it squirms a little bit as you hit it. Doesn't yell, doesn't make any sound, but you definitely see it retch a little from the head.
And I'm going to. And my chocobo's tied to somebody's chocobo bow. So I'm just going to hop off and ready my shield.
Okay. Just like Wolfred.
So Wolford's gonna yell up to the cat man. Who's that?
I reckon you ought to be quit playing around up there and come on down.
Cossack doesn't even like respond. You hear like that low guttural cat growl. He like fur is like fully stood up and he's just like blindly striking out at this thing.
Down at the ground. I'm gonna. How far up is he from where I'm at?
20 feet.
I'm gonna walk up there, and when I look down at the ground,
As soon as you take your first step onto the dune, your foot becomes stuck.
so I have 1 foot stuck in it and 1 foot on solid ground.
Yeah.
As soon as my foot gets stuck, I'm like, what the? And then he's gonna swing his axe and try to like chop his foot out, pretty much.
Okay. Chop his foot off? Or
No,
his foot
chop
down?
it like hit the ground beside it to kind of like break the
Okay.
sand up to pull his
Make
foot
an
out.
attack.
That is a 21.
That hits.
And then when I hit this, do I realize that it's a creature that I hit? So with me realizing that it is a creature, I'm gonna use distracting strike on it and add a D8 and give advantage to all friendly that attacked it.
Okay.
So
Alright. And how much damage total?
it's gonna be 12, 13 plus 2. 15 damage total.
15. Okay. Good hit. And it is distracted, so it is kind of focused on you, so to speak. But
Does my foot come loose at all? Does it seem to sink in anymore or anything?
not yet.
Right.
Not at this point.
When I'm stuck too, I'm gonna say,
Guys, I reckon I'm stuck over here now. Can't get my foot out.
But Connie.
I'm going to jump up and crouch on the chocobo, and I'm going to go into my trance.
Okay, you trance.
Yeah, and I'm going to jump up and I saw that they got stuck. Can I dive down on him so I don't land? Or I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between. Then I'm going to go for the very top where Cossack is, and I'm going to dive down and stab him.
Okay, you jump up and you do your dive. So I need to make a dex save.
Yes.
That's only a 9. So damage.
That's going to be 7, 12 damage as I land down beside Cossack and dive my pike into him. Not Cossack.
Right.
The thing.
Right. The thing.
The thing.
When you hit it, and Wolfred, you felt this too. When you hit, it wasn't like hitting sand. This is an actual creature.
Did you? Oh, you didn't.
Yeah. That's all from Makani. Goes to Tulok. Tulok is going to move up to beside Wolfred and is going to make an attack onto it, seeing that they're stuck.
He also gets advantage over
And
it.
he gets advantage. That is an 11 plus I think his modifier is 7, so 18. It's 5, 10 points of damage from that strike as he brings his mace down.
Maths.
It's so terrible having the math.
All the math.
It's Tulok Ekko.
Okay, real quick. You're still on a bird that's attached to another bird. Your bird was free though.
Totally free.
My bird wasn't attached to anything.
Are you still on a bird?
Yeah, because I was backing up.
Okay, so
My bird's not attached.
your bird's free as well.
Yeah, because I'm still awake.
How many birds are free? How many birds are attached?
My bird was attached to someone's bird because I was always on one of the attached
I think it's
birds.
just the 2 that aren't attached.
And mine.
Yeah.
So everyone else is on Devram. So Devram has 3.
Oh god. All right.
4. Is Click still on his bird?
No, I got off.
Okay.
I made sure as soon as I saw the dune moving, I was like,
I will say the chocobos that were not rider did not have rider on them instinctually backed away from this thing.
Yeah, I get mine. I kind of like start to pull it away from this area, and try to go towards the other chocobos as well as I do that.
Yeah.
And as I look over at this mound dude, I start to give a slight vibration as I pull out the chip of Mika, whatever, and I cast Shatter in a spot that wouldn't affect them, like in the lower region
Is
of
that a con save?
I think so.
Okay. That is an 18.
Okay, so he succeeds. Still takes damage. It's considered thunder.
Okay.
I'm not sure that makes a difference or not.
I don't know.
But he takes thunder damage. Okay. That's not bad for rolling a 1 with one of those. So it took 17, hop with that, 8.
8. Okay.
To my knowledge, 8.
All right. You see, it just kind of explodes at a point that you can see, but it's still going. Is that all for your turn?
I'm walking the chocobo away to the other chocobos that are free. Or at least the one other one that's free.
The 3 that are stuck, you 3. As you're sitting there trying to get out, you feel yourself pulled into the sand. And within a matter of seconds, your head is covered. You are no longer grappled. You're considered restrained. You can't breathe. And you have total cover against any other attack.
So
That's
how,
okay. I don't need to breathe.
So I'm just trying to
Still
understand
unconscious.
if I had 1 foot on it,
It pulled you in.
so I'm completely
It's
pulled in.
Constitution
pulled in.
number of minutes.
Yeah.
Constitution
Yes.
modifier number of minutes.
Yep. And you each take...
Can we hold our, like, while, as we're getting sucked in before our head goes under, can we do, like, on the movies, like, that one menacing, like,
Yeah, that's kind of implied that you kind of get that last little...
Yeah, you hold your breath for 1 minute per. It's actually a minute plus
Your
your
con,
con modifier in minutes.
And you all take
So what's your con
13 acid damage as you all are pulled in. And the digestive juices of this large creature begin to...
you say 13?
13. I do apologize. Did you say we are restrained now?
You all are restrained and you can't breathe.
Okay.
And you have total cover against other attacks and effects.
Okay. Okay.
That means we have advantage on melee attacks. On it, though, right?
No, because you're restrained. Restrained, speed is reduced to 0. Your attacks and dex saves have disadvantage. Hostiles have advantage. But you all are completely restrained. You can use one of your actions to escape by performing a strength.
So, since all of them have advantage on attacks, and it says attacks have disadvantage, then any attacks would roll it straight, right?
Yeah.
Roll flat roll right
Until
now.
the beginning of your next turn.
Yeah, until my turn.
Yep.
So anyone who's currently attacking getting is restrained.
Well, it's just us. We're the only ones.
You're the only ones
outside.
that have disadvantage.
But I'm saying like you would be able to.
That it moves to Ouli.
I'm going to fire another arrow at it.
Make an attack.
19.
19. That's it.
So, did you have that advantage?
Yes.
Cool. Sneak attack.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Especially, I immediately rolled 2. I'm like, Oh. That's only 11 piercing damage.
Only 11, but it hurts. So.
Oh, I'm stupid. Okay.
No, you are very smart, Ouli.
Right now, I'm stuck.
Is it for Ouli? Casa.
Jesus.
Can I cast spells with verbal components?
Since you cannot breathe, if you open your mouth,
I lose
Sand.
Fuck's sake! Oh my god. Okay. Can I target anything other than the sand immediately around me if it's some form of projectile? Like, could I ice knife somewhere that isn't going to explode right in my face?
no. Because it's going to explode on impact. It's right there in front of you.
Okay.
You can use an action to strength check out of it.
Strength's a 7.
I was gonna say, have you seen this kid's strength?
Yeah, worst case is you don't get out of it.
Well, yeah, I guess I'll try and get out.
Okay.
15.
That's it. You managed to pull
Jesus
yourself
Christ.
out.
The side. Pull myself out of the side.
You pull yourself out and are able to get off of it. You are now no longer on the dune mimic. And no longer restrained.
Should I come out prone?
Yes.
Can I stand up?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna stand up and run away.
You're running away?
Yes. I'm just beating a hasty retreat.
17 to hit. As a pseudopod flies out again, dealing 9 points of damage, and hearing you again.
God damn it.
No.
No.
You're grappled, you're not restrained anymore.
I can imagine that giant cat howl.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If we can't get you away from this thing.
Bonus action, drink my own potion?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna drink that potion.
Drink a potion.
Drink that potion.
Is it 2d4 plus?
2d4
plus 2?
2, yeah. Devon.
I'm gonna shoot things on him.
Okay. Make him attack.
12.
Hit.
What?
I was gonna say, roll this.
9 damage.
9?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna make another attack. Yeah. Yeah.
4.
So unnatural 20.
Hit. 1.
1.
Damage.
Okay.
Hey,
Alright. Is that all for your turn?
You say like, damn it or something?
Darn. That's it.
Is that the big voice?
Yeah.
Darn.
We've been waiting this entire episode.
Oh, shit.
I'm completely changing my voice, guys.
Darn.
Click.
Shit.
You see as Cossack is going to run away, this big pseudopod hits him and pulls him back towards it. As 2 arrows fly into the side of the pseudopod.
Sitting there, I'm seeing this happen, and I'm just like, you know what? And I'm just going to, in the name of Ouija's, the Tome of Ouijas comes out, spiritual weapon.
Okay. Get to make an attack.
What, are you gonna hit somebody with a bow?
With advantage?
Yes. You do have advantage. Matt, did you roll both of those with advantage?
No.
You have advantage, so just see if you get a 20.
Nope. No.
Oh, so close.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
When you were champion.
That would be
Darn.
a
Darn. Sorry, I said
21.
darn.
I
That's
talked
a hit.
earlier.
Okay,
Not me.
a D8.
It was
Plus
a
your
six.
spellcasting.
Yeah, which is like a 4. He gets 9 points of force damage.
Yeah.
As the Tome of Ouijas smashes him.
This
Smashes him.
boat just appears out of nowhere and just sand just flies up.
How did they do anything?
Right? Is that it?
That's why I'm going to sit on the shovel.
All right. Wolfred.
So to make a strength check to get out of it, is that my action?
What's your action?
I'm still good on breath, right? My breath
you're
is
fine.
plus for 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're fine.
If I attack it and I'm successful and I do, would I be able to do menacing attack? And if the creature was frightened, would it
You can certainly try.
reject me?
You can certainly try.
Well, I also have another ability where I can have a friendly move up to half their
Maneuvering strength.
Yeah, maneuvering strike. So would Makani be able to hear me?
Because she is restrained, her speed is 0, so half of 0 is still 0.
Oh, I just didn't know.
No, it
Pull
doesn't
her
give
out
her.
with
It doesn't
grapple.
give her a movement.
All right, I'm gonna try to attack it.
Okay. Make an attack at disadvantage.
Or a flat roll. Yeah.
No, it's
Would it
a
be-
flat roll.
No, I don't get advantage. 'Cause it's my turn.
It ends at the beginning of
It
his
ends
turn.
the beginning of my turn.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is going to be 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
All right, and then I'm gonna use menacing attack.
Okay, and it's make a charisma save.
A wisdom save.
17.
Just got it.
Okay, but he still takes the extra damage.
Yeah, he still
From
takes the
your
extra
superiority.
D8. 6. 16 damage.
Wow. Yeah, looking rough. Getting there anyway. Is that your turn?
I'm actually gonna use so in action surge, it says I get an extra action and bonus.
Right.
If you have a
it
bonus
replenishes
of it.
your action and bonus action.
So it's
Okay.
basically another turn.
So I would be able to do another superiority dice
Yep.
if I had them and everything.
Yep.
I'm gonna expend my action surge to try to attack it again.
Okay.
That is going to be a 14 to hit.
Hits.
Awesome.
Would it be at disadvantage?
It would be a disadvantage.
Oh, okay.
You're still the same.
It's still
Even
14.
better, yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
All right, and then
Let's mess this thing up.
yeah, I'm gonna use distracting strike again on this one.
Perfect.
So,
Right, roll your damage.
that way everyone will get advantage again. Do I add my modifier to this?
You do.
Okay. So 15 points of damage.
Oh yeah.
Good damage. That is Wolfred. Makani.
Wiggle around, and then I'm going to try to jab my pike down into it.
Okay, so you can't jump because your movement is 0.
Right.
But you can
So it's just a regular attack. Did yours give advantage? Would that be a
Yes.
flat roll?
So it'd be a
then?
flat roll.
Yeah, it's an unnatural 20.
Hit.
Reroll ones and twos. 13 damage.
Wow. Okay. It's looking rough.
That's all I can do.
Tulok, standing outside, is going to make an attack on it. And misses. was a 2 plus 7, so 9.
With advantage?
Oh, he does have advantage. That's a 3.
Okay.
Sorry, Jeff.
He doesn't get the kill because he's not here.
Okay. For a dune of sand, can we tell that it looks bad?
It is.
Truly?
You would
It's
see.
oozing more sand.
You would see at points it kind of like dips in and loses its form, and is starting to have trouble keeping its form.
Ekko continues to move the. How far away is it roughly from me?
30 feet.
Do I gotta stay within range all the time though with this spell?
Yep.
The spell ends if you're also the spell targets outside. Okay. Ekko stops moving. He has the chocobo by the rein, reaches in his pocket for a burnt, what appears to be some form of burnt bark, and as he holds it up, at second level he casts his witch bolt.
All right. Is that an attack for you?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, that definitely hits. I think by natural 16.
That misses.
So it does
No, it is.
2d12.
Yeah.
Darn.
It's on the box. 12 points of lightning damage.
As you hit it, where you hit it, it starts to form plates of glass.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
that's
so
what I was hoping
That's
for.
so cool.
Yes.
It starts to form plates of glass as the electricity forms up, and it kind of warbles for a second, and then it just kind of deflates and collapses in on itself, and the sand washes outward, shattering the glass that was made to Wolfred and Makani kind of being revealed as the sand washes over them, as this thing loses its form. And as it dissipates from its form, that's where we're going to end tonight's
Nice.
I killed it, you guys.
Darn.
No, I said something before that. I told you all I didn't like.
Yeah,
the
you were
games.
talking.
Yeah.
I heard you talk. You were using your new voice.
It sounds the same.
Yeah, I didn't
Listen, it had a little twang to it, all right?
I
Baby
heard
steps,
it.
guys, all right? Baby steps.
Who thought this voice?
Yeah. Baby
That
steps.
I did, y'all.
All right. Well, that was a fun episode. Thank you guys so much. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to give us a like, subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Make sure to mark yourself for notifications so you can see when new episodes come out. We do drop them every Wednesday. Every Mondays, we do drop stuff for Attack on TCG. We're doing a lot with the Dragon Ball TCG. And also make sure you check out our podcast, Talkin' Tipsy. We've got a couple other things that are coming along the lines. But we're so glad that you stopped in to share this time with us. Hopefully you enjoy what you're seeing. Other than that, anything else, guys?
By the point this episode comes out, check out the My Hero Academia
Yes.
profiles and stuff.
Yep.
Whatever that is.
Whenever that is. So, but guys, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week with Wasted 20's.
Bye.